For the first time in human history, more than half of the world's population live in cities, many of which are growing at an alarming rate, as more and more people seek opportunities in these connected and often complex environments. With the growth of our cities comes immense pressure to provide adequate and sustainable housing, jobs and infrastructure to serve these ever-increasing populations. The growth in our cities is not just down to increases in birth rates and longer life expectancy. There is also an increase in the level of migration of people from rural areas to cities. With a population of over 4 million people, Melbourne sits as the state capital of Victoria and the second largest city in Australia. But like many cities, Melbourne's population is growing, and with it brings challenges to provide housing, infrastructure and jobs for an ever-increasing population. The Victorian Department of Planning and Community Development plays a vital role in planning for the future growth and development of Melbourne. Andrew Tung is Department Secretary.
The Victorian Department of Planning and Community Development is working to create competitive cities and regions here in Victoria, Australia. Our key priorities include strategic planning for the City of Melbourne, a city The Economist calls the most livable city in the world. Melbourne currently has 4.2 million people and is growing to 6 or perhaps 7 million people in the next 20 to 25 years. This throws up a number of challenges that we're working through, balancing livability, the economy, the needs of a changing society and, importantly, creating a sustainable population base for a long-term future for Victorians. An important part of our work is working with Metropolis on an integrated strategic planning and public-private partnership project. The project is directed by Mary Lewin with our partners, the United Nations Global Compact Cities Program and the Indian National Institute of Urban Affairs.
The Metropolis Initiatives are major international projects led by member cities. The objective of integrated strategic planning and public-private partnerships is to build the capacity of municipal and government staff who plan the provision and maintenance of essential infrastructure. Our aim is to develop a model that integrates the considerations of both the public and the private sectors right from the initial planning stages when dealing with urgent infrastructure needs. Whilst the focus is on Indian cities, it is intended that the model could easily be adopted by other cities around the world.
Paul James, a professor at RMIT University in Melbourne, is the director of the United Nations Global Compact Cities Program.
The United Nations Global Compact Cities Program is integral to this project with Metropolis. The International Secretariat of the United Nations, the Cities Program, is hosted here at RMIT, and what we are dealing with Metropolis are seemingly intractable problems. Problems which haven't been able to be dealt with by governments alone. They've moved now to working in public-private partnerships. One of the things we want to do with those public-private partnerships is rethink the nature of the ways in which those partnerships are organised. The world's in crisis, and ironically, even though cities have been a central part through urbanisation, intensification processes, globalisation and increased use of resources in that crisis, cities often offer the solution to that as well. We're focusing on India, and the kind of work we're doing there is bringing a new approach to the way in which cities are dealing with major crises. And the Cities Program brings together a wealth of research and methodological experience, particularly in a program we've been developing around circles of sustainability. The effect of that program has been to rethink the triple bottom line notion that puts economics as the core and ecology as the externality. So in a way, what we're saying is a more integral framework starts with the social and says that economics, ecology, but also politics and culture are part of the social framework within which cities have to deal with those major problems that have to be addressed immediately. We're very excited to be working with Metropolis, and we think the Metropolis, in the work it's been doing in the commissions from the past, has extraordinary knowledge working in partnership with many cities around the world. The Indian cities of New Delhi, of Hyderabad, of Calcutta, but also Sao Paulo and Tehran, bringing together a wealth of knowledge to actually bring about change, because we understand both the differences in their contexts, but also the similarities that bind us to a changing world.
With the right people in place, it is hoped that this initiative can successfully achieve the goal of tackling urgent infrastructure needs in Indian cities and delivering more livable cities.